Hi everyone, welcome to Introduction to Graphic Design. My name is Joanne Denning and I'll be the instructor for the course. As you probably know, this is going to be a very intense course because we only have 1 month to get through all of the material. So it's actually shorter than even a summer session, and it'll be a challenge, but I think we can do it and I think it'll be fun. It's also holiday season, so you're going to have to really balance having fun with your family and friends, celebrating, and doing your homework and assignments, and your reading and watching the videos. So hopefully you're prepared for that. If you go and log into Canvas, you've already probably logged in if you're watching this video, you'll notice that I've kind of broken the course into 4 weeks. So we are going to focus on week 1. There's also a link to the syllabus here, which I really recommend that you look at. It'll kind of break down everything and talk about our learning objectives. It gives a summary of the course, and you can see all of the required materials. Basically, for the class, you're going to need to, if you go to the syllabus and scroll down, you'll see this here. You're going to need to buy some pens and pencils. I recommend drawing pens and pencils. I don't have a specific brand, but they are much better if you want to be able to control the weight and thickness of the stroke. And they come in different sizes. 0.1 would be a really thin point, and 0.7 would be a thicker point. So you need to buy some pens and pencils. You need to buy some trace paper, although if you come to one of my open labs, which I'll be holding, you can just ask me for trace paper and I'll give it to you. And then you'll need to buy a sketchbook. Design projects, weekly review questions, writing projects, peer reviews, and our final quiz are what is going to determine your grade in the class. And one really important thing that you'll note on the syllabus is that I want people to turn work in on time, and you do get deducted if your projects are turned in late. And if it's more than a week late, I just won't accept it. It's just too hard for you to keep caught up in the class if you're not turning stuff in. The textbook, which is Graphic Design Solutions by Robin Landa, is a great textbook, and I recommend buying it online. It's the 4th edition, but I also have provided you with downloadable PDFs in the weekly reading, so you don't have to purchase this textbook. It's going to be all there for you, and I did this just to make it much easier for you to start reading right away. I also emailed it out in a previous email, so you should have it in your email, the first week's reading. I'm going to go back to the home page here and kind of click into week 1. Notice that week 1 starts on 12/10 and ends on 12/17, so that is next Monday. We go from Monday to Monday in this class. And if you click in this week, you'll see that we have, let me go into week 1 here. We have some things that you're going to be required to do. The first thing you're going to need to do is introduce yourself on the Introductions discussion forum. If you click on that, you'll notice that you have a few questions. You need to post a brief description of yourself, but that can just be one line. First year student at DVC. Tell me why you're taking the class. It's required for my major, general education. And then the third question, which is probably the most important question, is have you ever used Illustrator, Photoshop, or some other design or layout software? This will let me know what your experience is. I want to hold open labs in the class so that you can come in and get some hands-on help. So this week on Thursday, I'm going to be in the A303 lab. I'll be sending an email about this, but I'll be in the A303 lab between the hours of 9 and 2, and you can come in and get some help, work on projects, ask me questions, get some Illustrator, hands-on help, which is very helpful if you haven't used the design software. The reading here is, if you click on reading for week 1, you'll see that there's 2 links, chapter 1 and 2 in Graphic Design Solution, chapter 3 and 4 in Graphic Solution. These are the most important. This is the textbook. So if you click on these, you can download the PDF and start reading right away. And you also have an intro to design. This is just sort of a summary of the first lecture that we have in here. So you can click on that and review it. So make sure that you are able to access that. And then you have your design videos for week 1. There's a lot of videos. I know it's a little challenging to think of all these videos, but they're short. So they're kind of like 10, sometimes 12 to 15 minute videos, and they're all the design lectures that I give to the in-person class. So the really important ones are going to be at the top, but I recommend that you watch the Milton Glaser one. He is an amazing graphic designer, and this is just a short profile, look at his studio and his design philosophy. But the important three up here, design elements, shape, value, color, and texture, are all explored in these first three videos. And I also go over the projects in the videos, and it's really helpful for you to kind of see some hands-on examples of the projects. Then we have the notes, which will change from week to week, and I just sort of post some important things in here. We're going to be focusing on the elements of design first, so I'll talk a little bit about line and what line is, so you can get some references to what's maybe in the lectures. And then lastly, the assignments, and this is really important. All the assignments are in here. So this week you'll note that you have some chapter review questions, and that's based on the reading and also on the weekly notes. You have a writing assignment every week. This week, you're just going to be exploring some designers. I'll go ahead and click on that so you can look at it. I've given you a list of designers, and you're supposed to pick two of them, and then you're basically writing a couple of paragraphs about each of the two designers, and you are including some images of their work. So make sure that you follow all the requirements, and that the first paragraph that you write about each designer should be just a kind of brief synopsis of them, where they're from, the country that they're from, anything important or notable about them, maybe when they went to school or where they teach, and what influential thing that they contribute to design. And then the second paragraph might be just a paragraph about what you specifically like about the work that you're seeing online from them. So try to clarify what you're interested in, what you're seeing, and what you like about it. The design a word project and the collage project are going to be our two major projects in here. For the collage project, and I can definitely help you if you come to the in-person lab on Thursday, you are exploring three different concepts. The first concept is shape, the second concept is value, and the third concept is texture. And what you're doing is you're creating three different collages. The first collage is going to be titled Shape, and you're going to really explore how shapes fit together, use of positive and negative space. The second collage is value, the range of lightness or darkness, and the third collage is texture. And that's kind of like if you touch the image, what would it feel like? And read the instructions carefully. I also have some examples for you to look at, and there's a lot of examples in the lecture, in the video lecture, so make sure that you watch it. And these are just 3 examples from last semester. Then you're going to be asked to peer review other students' work after you turn this in. And the peer reviews are going to come in after everything's been submitted. So you will submit your work, and then you will be asked to go in and look at other people's work and describe what you like about it or what could be improved. And if you have any questions about the peer review, let me know. Basically, the peer reviews open a couple of hours after you've submitted your work, and they end about 24 to 36 hours, like basically a day or 2 later. And so if you have questions, just let me know. The other assignment that you're working on is going to be the Design a Word project. And the Design a Word project is where you are given a word or statement, and I will email you that tonight. And then you need to create this word or statement using only letter shapes. And you have to do 2 variations. So you basically solve the problem in 2 different ways. So for example, you can see down here elimination. So if elimination was your word, these would be kind of what you would be doing to solve that problem. And then I have some more examples down here, drunk, and these were just student examples of how they solved the problems. You can put, for example, a graphic in there. So notice with this one, there is a wine glass sort of part of the letter shape, but it can't be apart from the letter shape. It has to be basically drawn into the shape of the letter or replacing a letter. So sometimes in the past, students have actually taken one letter out of the word and put a graphical element in there. And as long as the word stays legible and readable, that's totally fine. And then there's some other examples. There's also a great video called Word as Image that you can watch that shows you a lot of clever examples of animating a word. That can be helpful. So those are our main projects. You are doing your collage project, you're doing your design a word project, and then I'm asking you to rent the documentary Helvetica, or I've provided a link for you, which is basically just a YouTube version of it. That's not the best quality, but you don't have to rent it if you watch the link. And watch it because our next writing assignment in week 2 will be based on that movie. So really plan on spending about, 5 to 6 hours every day on this class to complete it. I know it's a lot to ask over the holidays, but you just have to think that we're trying to condense 90 hours of work into a 1-month time period. So you really have to spend time on it. You have to let me know if you have questions immediately. And I definitely recommend coming to the in-person lab if you're struggling at all. We'll definitely have a day or two this week, and then we're going to have a day or two next week. I'm not sure about the Christmas week because that's a difficult week, but then we'll have a day or two on our last final week of class for you to come in. There's also a great service called NetTutor available to you guys, and that's a writing service. So if you upload your writing assignments a few days in advance, you'll get some feedback on basically grammar, spelling, punctuation, and sentence structure. And my students have used it in the past and found it pretty valuable. And you have access to that for this whole month. Your grades will be uploaded pretty quickly, so you'll be able to check your grades and let me know if you have questions. Like I said, I will accept late submissions up to 1 week after the due date, but after that, I won't accept. So if you do need to submit something late, just submit it as soon as you can. And then I want to be here for you. I want to be available for you, so I'll plan on checking email every day throughout the day, trying to get you responses back quickly. So if you have any questions, please go onto Canvas and email me through the course. If the course is down, in my syllabus, I've given you an alternate email that you can use, the jdenning@dvc.edu. So you can also email me there, but Canvas is always better unless for some reason you can't access Canvas or you're having issues with Canvas. Then my DVC email is good. And office hours, like I said, I'll be available definitely throughout the day, but if you want to, the best time to probably email me is early in the morning, and then you know that you'll definitely get a response back to me within a few hours. So I'm super excited. I hope that I've answered some questions in this video, and just let me know if you have any additional questions or if you need some help.